What's going on, everybody? So, excuse the mess that you will see, but as you can see, we are actually insulating the garage so that we can continue to work in the garage this winter, because it gets so freaking cold. Like, it's really cold in the winter. So yeah, I got a lot of work to do this winter, so but that being said, things that need to be done with the Earl here. So what we got here is as soon as I figure out the right way to open it. So we have a very cheap line lock. So basically all I was going for here was the solenoid, and the way we're going to hook this up is going to be slightly different. Some people have done it that way, and I'm going to do it as well, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But okay, so this is what we got going on here. So basically I am going to be hooking this up, this particular solenoid, to my rear brakes. And before you jump down into the comments, and say, it's pointless to put it on my rear brakes, hear me out first. So the reason why I'm putting it on my rear brakes is I want to be able to do burnouts. And sure, I could connect my front brakes to this and lock up the front brakes, do my burnouts, but that's what the launch control switch is going to do. So what I want this one to do is I want it to just completely block off the rear brakes, so that when I'm hitting the brakes, I'm not activating the rear ones at all. So they're not warming up. I can do whatever the heck I want to, and then cut them off, and that'll be fantastic. So I'll be able to just, I don't have to sit there and worry about doing a little burnout, turning off the switch to drive around and all that stuff like that. So I'm going to save the line lock for, I am putting one on the front, but that is going to be for a launch control type situation. So what we have going on here is we have this line right here, which goes to the back, and I know it goes to the back. These individual ones the smaller ones are going to the front, and it's this one goes down to a T, and then it branches off, goes to each one. But what we're focused in on is the back, and I had actually cut this one anyways, which works out great because you can get one of these compression fittings, a 1/4 inch compression fitting, and it works great. You can actually put these lines together. Also, as you can see, I have copper line here, so you can actually use copper line as well. It's the exact same size as 1/4 inch. Fittings work, everything works. A lot of people up here tend to use it for the rust. I'm not using it for that reason. I am using it just for the simple fact that I have it on hand and I didn't have to buy it, so and it'll work fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this line. We got to get some adapters, and it is going to go into the, see, this is the feed. So normally the feed line would go into the top one, but instead I'm going to send it into the bottom one, which would be the output typically. And the reason why that is, if I put it up here and then I try locking it out, the pressure from the hydraulic pressure from the brakes when I press it and the master will overpower the spring and the plunger that is in there. So if you come in from the bottom, whenever you're pressing on it, all you're doing is sealing it more, if that makes any sense. So we will go in right here with the feed, and then coming out of here we will take this out, and then it'll go to this line right here. And I already have that line, but like I said, I need fittings. I actually got to get a new one of these fittings. I'm probably going to cut this off because I don't have to do that. I'll probably do something. I don't know exactly just yet what I'm going to do, but I can just get another one of these fittings and just take that end off and then shove it on here, and it'll be good. And my brakes won't leak. They haven't leaked yet, so I mean, that whole fitting was just fine. So if it's fine for that, it'll be fine for this. And this now, dogs. So in here, like I said, I'm not using that one switch, so I'm actually going to utilize this switch. Cut that off. I have my lights still on. They weren't actually on, but I'm going to utilize this switch. And so what you have right here is this line right here. This will have so this is the outgoing power. So this goes to the solenoid. This goes to the LED. Let me know that it's on. I'm just gonna have it kind of like sitting down here, shining the area down there. And then you have power coming in, right here on the bottom side, and it actually, they provide a fuse holder, 5-amp fuse, so you just wire that in between and give it a 12-volt source, and that's it. I mean, we're not done yet, so once I actually get the fittings for out there, then yeah, then we'll go ahead and test it, go ahead and do a burnout. We're gonna fully test it. We're gonna do it right. So alright, so this is where we're at. I'm sick, and like literally one day has progressed to where I just feel so terrible. So but I have been successful. What I just got done doing right now was fighting with these fittings, because these adapters that I got from Advanced Auto have like a boxed end to the flare, and not really like a flare. I don't understand what the deal was. It's hard to explain. And you can't really see it if I were to show it to you, but it's not a flare inside there, even though this is a brake line adapter. It's weird. But that's not the point. What's up, B? So I've been going through, and you always start with the furthest one. So I started with the one on the passenger side rear, and then I, because I'm by myself right now, because Michael's in Fargo, and yeah, and Jordan's in freaking Iowa or something. So you press it up a few times, 5, 6, 7, whatever you feel. Doesn't really matter. And then I have this adjustable paintbrush thingy here. And I originally just pressed it as far as I could down, and then set the adjustment, and then as you can see, I just lean it up against here. Boom. It allows me to do this myself, and so it sucks though, because you got to press it, get out, walk over to the one, do it, and then come back. And now I do have the little thing that attaches to the other end of that right there, but those things suck, or at least the one that I got from Harbor Freight, it's garbage. So this method right here, it's tried and true, works all the time. So now after I get done with these rear ones right here, then I'm gonna go and do the front ones, even though I haven't had any bubbles come out, which is strange, but maybe the bubbles must have come out when I had some leaks right here at these fittings, because it just kept like kind of purging out some bubbles and whatnot. So maybe it got rid of it. And one so I don't know if you could see it, but there's like this, yeah, you can see it. I left the cap off of this here, and I pressed that brake pedal hard, and it shot up here and just every freaking where. So always put your cap back on. Just a little PSA there. So what I just found out, and you'll see here now, see watch this. Now that is moving right where at this little joint right here where it goes up and down. And I've taken this apart, and I've gone up inside there, and I can't get that far up in there, at least that I'm aware of. I'm gonna look at my Haynes manual and see if I can get this off, because if I can get this off and fix this, then we will take it for a drive and do burnout. Okay, so obviously I found a way. So what you see here, see that, let me get a good shine. Yeah, see that, basically that E bolt right there, that's a kind of a star, reverse star bolt. So that is what's loose. Wish I could show you this and move it at the same time, but that is hard to do. See what I mean? So I'm going to get up in there and tighten down all these things, but I need to put some Loctite on them. Now, I don't want to remove this ball, so I'm going to try to do it with everything in place. I don't know how that's going to work necessarily, but we'll find out. So, that looks like, I don't know what size that is, but I have a bunch of E-bolt fitted, or E-sockets, and we'll see what it is. Look at that! Yeah! It's satisfying. So I actually could get down in there. Now, what I wanted to do was go in there and remove the bolts and then Loctite them so they never come out again. But I went in there and I tightened them down as tight as I could get them. And I plan on getting the Motion Raceworks steering column here very soon. It's a lightweight chromoly one. That's my plans. But
it's like, to get everything that I need with it, it's like $800-900. So I'm gonna save up a little bit of money to get that. But for now, with this not moving anymore, like it was, we should be good. Well, so been driving Earl around, and there's been some weird noises on the passenger side. They don't sound like it's, you know, rod bearings or anything like that. But what I do believe is going on is one of the lifters is collapsed or stuck or something. Now, I bought brand new ones, so I'm kind of confused as to why they would be having issues. But it's pretty much based on, so I have a brand new oil pump and everything too. And let me just start her up and show you. Now, typically with these things, cold or even like that, you're gonna have about 40, you know, pounds of oil pressure. And let me throw the keys on the ground. I'm still getting a little bit over my sickness. You can hear it in my voice, but it's all good. Don't worry about it. So, if you'll see here, I've only got like 20 something pounds of pressure. And when I rev it up, it should move. It should, because it's attached to the engine. And it does move a little bit. But so I want to show y'all what the oil pressure is supposed to be like. And y'all haven't met or was this half ton Tina? Yeah, I'm sorry, old half ton Tina. So let's see. Oh yeah, look at that oil pressure. Yeah. So you see that oil pressure is at 40? That's where I should be at too. I should be around that number as well. And I'm at 17, 18 maybe at best. So, and it's not the pump. Pump's brand new. So the only thing it could be is that a lifter stuck, or there's some clearance issues on the crank. So you know what that means. Now let's take a look inside the oil filter. I've been wanting to look inside there, see if there's any metal. Because if there's any metal, then we know that it's probably crank related and it's been tearing away bearing material. I will say though, I've been working on getting it off. There was some like dark gray stuff on top right here, as you can see right there. So I don't know if that's going to be an indicator of what we're about to find inside here. So let's go up in here and see. It's gonna be messy. Nobody knows what happened. Well, let's see what we got here. Let's see, we need something to cut this with. There's like a little plastic ring inside there. Alright, so what we want to see. Ooh.
Quite a bit of material in there.
Yeah, quite a bit of material in here. Here.
That's bearing.
Yeah.
That's bearing.
I think there's some green shit in there too. Look at all that stuff up in there. Man. That sucks.
Oh, she's coming back out.
Yeah, like there's some of the copper.
Focusing.
There's some copper seal there. Man, that sucks. Well, I mean, it's kind of my fault, I guess. I mean, I didn't actually have the ability to find the angle properly, so I kind of guesstimated, and I think that might have been the reason why. So, looks like we're gonna be pulling the engine out. Man, that sucks. But look at all that right there. Just yeah, see, it's right there. Look at all that stuff that came off of there.
Trying to give it a second
Like-
focus.
Like, it's got a lot of stuff on it.
Yeah, we're not gonna see it.
That's okay. Just trust me when I say that it's got a lot of stuff on it, and it is very, very nasty. Like, you'll be able to see it on my thumb, and man, that sucks so bad. Well, yeah. So I mean, it sucks, but you know, it's gonna be all right.
Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, can't fight that right there. So with that being said, it looks like the motor's coming out. But with that being also said, we have some big plans for this here motor, and hey, it's something that I've been wanting to do, and I think we're gonna go ahead and step it up a notch just a little bit, and see if we can make this next project a true success. Without having to worry about this again. So I'm gonna get the right tool. It'll be torqued right way, all that good stuff. You live, you learn. So later, guys.
Peace.